Who's there? That's not how the joke goes at all. I already said who's there. More importantly, what time is it? Even more importantly, what day? I suddenly catapulted into wakefulness by both the fact that the knocking still hadn't stopped and by the fact that it's noon on a school day. Now fully awake, I can remember why I was napping. Better not give that excuse to Muto. Sorry I wasn't in class. I was experimenting sexually with my girlfriend and it tired me out. That'll never go well. I wonder how long this knocking is going to continue. Guess I ought to answer the door. Strangely unsurprised to see Kenji on the other side, though it appears that Kenji is surprised to see me. The hell are you doing here, man? Well, I was sleeping. Kenji nods in understanding. Knocked out, I see. Told you to be careful around that bizarre chick, man. Sorry, Kenji. This is the sort of thing that happens when you aren't cautious. He makes an attempt to look back at the back of my head. Did she hit you with something? Or is it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. Kenji produces a flashlight and shines it in my eyes. You got a concussion? I wasn't knocked out. Maybe you just don't remember. The conversation isn't going anywhere. No, I just had a tiring morning and I fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. But you gotta watch out for that girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around. She's one of the most sinister agents. If you're not careful, there's no telling what could happen. She's brought down a stronger man than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent of anything. She didn't knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt that she's brought down anyone at all. Kenji looks almost offended. I have no idea why. You don't believe me? It's cold, man. Real cold. I'm just trying to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know. We're friends? I had no idea. Then again, I wonder if Kenji knows that what being a friend entails. I feel something like pity for him standing there before me. Maybe he does think he's looking out for me. I know. Sorry about that. Thanks for the warning. I hold up my hand as a sign of peace. Kenji shakes it gingerly like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. What kind of favor? I'm out of money. No, you aren't. You got money kept in your desk drawer under the black notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need money anyway. He adopts a very serious tone. I'm about to undertake a major op. It'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open if I'm right. But it's dangerous, so I need you to do something in case for me. In case I don't come back. Sure, man. Anything. What the hell is he planning on doing? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days, then mail my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under a false bottom in one of my desk drawers. How do I get to your room? I don't have a key. Kenji looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock. You know how to do that, right? Don't you have like 12 locks on your doors? It's an important skill to learn at a young age. Yeah, of course I know how. I'll be sure to do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. Either way, Kenji seems pretty happy that I've agreed to do this whole thing for him. Okay, man. Okay. See you around. I got stuff to do. And he's gone, dashing down the hallway. He seemed so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wishes. Shaking my head, I close my door and walk back to my bed. I guess I should go to class, if only to catch the last half of the day. But I've come this far without going to class today, and I don't want... And I did want to read more of that Hawking book Muto lent me. I'm sure he'll understand. This time the noise jerks my attention away from the book. An experience not unlike being woken up. Who's there? Me, aren't you glad? The voice is muffled through the door, but unmistakably Emmy's. I hop up and open my door, smiling broadly. Hey, nice to see you again. Emmy grins back, staring up at me from her wheelchair. Yeah, you would have seen me earlier, but the damned elevator wasn't working. I had to wait for him to fix it. You'd think they could keep it in better order, but no. I chuckle a bit at her vexed expression and invite her in. She wheels in easily, with my help, as she hops onto my bed. There, much more comfortable than that stupid chair. Sign of contentment hangs in the air for a minute where we both just stare at one another. It's at that point where I notice the circle under Emmy's eyes. They're not dark, but they definitely weren't there before. Before I can ask about them, Emmy fixes me with a mischievous stare. So I couldn't help but notice you weren't at lunch today. In fact, I don't think I saw you at all. What happened? Fell asleep. I actually didn't wake up until lunch, and only then because Kenji woke me up. What had you so tired? Strenuous workout this morning, slightly uncomfortable too. Emmy coughs a half-laughing, half-embarrassed noise. Remind me not to do that again. No problem. It wasn't actually great for me either, to be honest. We'll just avoid it from now on. Are you, still sore? Emmy stares at me in disbelief. What? It's a legitimate question. Of all the questions I never thought I'd be asked, this was one of them. Well, I'd never hear to expect to have asked it, but here we are. Emmy laughs at this. I guess so, huh? Well, since you asked, yes, I am still a little sore. We're never doing that again. No arguments from here. A yawn escapes her, and I raise an eyebrow. Tired? Emmy nods sleepily. Haven't slept well. Not sleeping well. I could tell that she didn't mean to tell me this earlier, but because she gives a little start, like she's been caught lying, and hastens to add. It's not a big deal, though. What's the trouble? Emmy shrugs and refuses to elaborate. Stressed over exams? Another shrug, but after a pause, Emmy nods hesitantly. Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's why I stopped by. She begins to look more and more miserable. Not so you'd notice, of course, but her eyes are on her lap. She's fidgeting and her voice is quiet. We, need to stop hanging out so much. Huh? Why? Emmy takes a deep breath like she's been practicing this. Because you're too much fun to be around. And I can't concentrate when you're near me. With exams coming up soon, I just can't have that distraction. Otherwise, my grades will be pretty lousy, I'm afraid. I could help you study. She smiles at me, clearly unhappy with this situation. I'd love it if you could, but we wouldn't actually study, would we? I mean, even now I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I just kind of want to, not converse. Ah, overwhelmed by my rugged manliness. I understand. That earns me a grin, at least. Emmy shakes her head. Idiot, you're so full of yourself. Well, I am pretty irresistible. More or less, I guess. So that's the situation, Sao. I have too much fun around you, and if I'm going into exams prepared, I need to be alone. That's okay. It really seems to have been bothering her. Besides, it's only a couple of weeks, and we'll still see each other in the mornings and at lunch. We can just hang out at school, no problem. After exams, we can go on a date and celebrate their being over, okay? Emmy grins, pleased at by this proposal. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. As if to signal the end of a conversation, she leans in and kisses me. The rest of the night was not spent worrying about exams. Nice. Nice. So far, Emmy has had as many love scenes as everybody else in a span of 2 in-game days. That's crazy. It's weird how easy Emmy and I can keep from seeing each other after class now. Actually, I'd venture to say that it's vaguely disturbing. As easily as we'd come together, we seem to have split apart without much trouble. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. We'd both been pretty bummed after that last night together. And we got to see each other every morning for our runs, and just our runs, I might add. Lunch, too. I especially enjoy lunchtime with her. Is he about to get that post-non-fuck, stage? Is he going to be like, we used to do it, all the time, and now, we don't do it anymore, and, it's just not as fun. We have plenty of time to talk about everything outside of school, whereas the morning runs have been increasingly business-like. I think it's because Emmy wants to make up for our foolery in the storage shed, but no matter how much we joke at lunch, I can't help but feeling worried about her. She seems distracted more often, and I've caught her fidgeting nervously more than once. Never figured her to be someone who cared that deeply about exams, but they certainly seem to be taking their toll. She's lying to you, it's not exams. Even though they haven't even started. This is just the run-up, the deep breath before the plunge. Tomorrow is the real trial. Or exams, anyway. As for me, I actually don't feel that worried about exams at all. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they're pretty important. My scores will determine my odds of getting into a good university. Hell, if I'm too cavalier now, it could spell doom for my academic career. But going into them, I feel confident that I'll come out the other side okay. Muto thinks I've got the science examination locked up at any rate. Or as he says, the last thing that should give you trouble is my exam, Michelle. It's way beneath your talents. Then again, it is Muto who's telling me this. His praise of me carries the veiled implication that anything less than perfect from me would be a disappointment, which actually has caused me to fret more than I should about the exam. It's for that reason that I find myself in the library after class poring over the textbook. Pretty simple things to look over, formulas of velocity, a few bits about friction. A walk in the park compared to the dreaded English exam. Never was good with languages. As I flip through my notes one more time, my mind begins to wander. After these exams are over, things should get easier. Soon we'll be graduated, then off to college, hopefully. I remember my abortive attempt to find out what Emmy plans to do after high school. She avoided the subject pretty deftly, as I recall. Heck, it seems that just about every time I push too hard, she dances around the subject. or distracts me, though, through other means. Like a few days ago at lunch when Rin wasn't around. I've done it! I'm startled from my reverie by Yuko's triumphant shout. Yuko seems mortified by this sudden startling. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I wasn't, and it's just that. As she shudders, I move quickly to calm her down before she gets too agitated. Whoa, hey. My words seem ineffective. Yuko continues to work herself into a complete frenzy. And it's a library. I shouldn't be. Easy there. Calm down. I'm just really setting a bad example, and now I'll get fired because I can't do anything right. Yuko! Shouting seems to work, though I draw the ire of several other students studying in the library. Yuko snaps to attention like a soldier who's just heard the captain bark an order. Sorry. Calm down. It's okay. You just startled me a little. It's only because I was daydreaming instead of studying. So really, you got me back on task. This is a complete lie, but it seems to work. Yuko takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little, though she keeps shifting around with a nervous energy that's awfully familiar. So, what got you so excited anyway? Why is her head so big? Is her head bigger here? Am I crazy? The Yamaku cat burglar. To her credit, Yuko manages to convey her intense excitement into a whisper. It's Kenji, now that he's gone. I think I know who it is. I got an anonymous tip as to their identity. I did some spying, and the tipster was right. Oh, really? And who was this burglar? Yuko shuts her mouth, shaking her head decisively. Nope, I can't tell you that. Why not? It's between me and the burglar. I can't risk you warning him that I'm onto his game. He could tip his hand early, blow town. Then I'm left with no perp. Yuko start talking like a hard-boiled detective. Hey, I wouldn't warn them. Why would I care? If you've got to ask that question, then you don't need to know. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Congratulations, I guess. Thanks. What for? The cat burglar thing? Yuko nods and smiles appreciatively. So, studying for exams? Well, that was the plan, but I'm not having much luck, though. Really? Is it because you can't find a book? I'm really sorry. I've been meaning to clean the shelves up for weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Whoa, wait, it's not that. Got my book right here. To illustrate the point, I hopefully calm Yuko down and I show her the textbook in front of me. My mind just keeps wandering, is all. Is it because of the noise in here? I'm trying to be more strict about the noise levels, but I can't bring myself to yell at people. I mean, aren't their lives hard enough without me throwing my authority around? No, it's not noise level either, I promise. I'm just, I don't know, worried about Emmy, worried about us, worried about what happens after we graduate. Emmy's been kind of weird lately. What do you mean? Well, you know how we're dating now? I just don't think that we're actually, a couple, or at least, I don't know that we're beyond friends. Though friends normally don't do the sort of things we do. Physically, we're a coupling, at least. It's like, every time I try to find out more about her, or about what she wants to do with her life, she dodges the question. Like the other day, I was talking to her at lunch about some schools I've been looking into, and I asked her, hey, have you looked into any schools lately? She shrugs in response, says no, and when I ask why not, she says that she doesn't think that far up ahead. I asked why she had that policy, and she suddenly realized that I'm about to start describing and wisely decided to clam up. She what? She changed the subject. Wouldn't talk about it. Maybe it's an uncomfortable subject for her, or she just doesn't think it needs explaining. Yeah, but it's not just that. Every time I try to find out what's been bothering her, she changes the subject too. It's like she likes being with me, but not getting close to me. Now that I've said it out loud, I feel worse. Yuko digests this bit of information. You know, it seems to me that you're more serious about this than she is. I can almost feel my stomach twist into a knot. She's right. It's exactly what it seems like. But is that really what's going on? I mean, sorry, I'm just talking nonsense. You shouldn't take my advice. You barely know me. I'm just a librarian and I'm single, so you can't even imagine that I can know what I'm talking about. No, I think you have a point. As much as it hurts to even consider it, Yuko seems to try desperately to find a way to soften the blow somewhat. Look, I'm probably wrong, but if you want to be sure of how obviously wrong I am, maybe you should just talk to her. Get some time alone, talk about it. And don't let her change the subject either. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Or maybe I should just enjoy what I have. We have fun hanging out after all. And the runs are nice. Their activities are nice, and talking to her is nice. Do I need to get closer to her? What I've got right now is pretty good, but that's silly. I want to get closer to her. I want to be able to help her out with whatever's bothering her. But maybe I should wait until after exams are over. Maybe she'll brighten up once the stress is past. If she does, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But if she doesn't, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I thank Yuko for her advice and head back to my room. Maybe I'll be able to concentrate more on my studies in there. Damn. This is rough. This feels like real life or something.